Hello, and thanks again for joining us this week. This week, we engaged in crucial community discussions regarding mental health, crime, hate crimes, and violence, as it's imperative that we intensify our efforts to reduce offenses committed by and towards young people, as well as adults. On Tuesday, we hosted a listening session in Wheaton, facilitated by the Wheaton Urban District Advisory Committee and the Stop the Violence Community Town Hall in Germantown. These sessions were somber and a bit frustrating as we listened to the concerns and experiences shared by community members who are pretty frustrated. There's an urgency to dealing with these problems. Whether it's crime or drugs impacting our community, the most effective way to alleviate these problems is by addressing the mental health crisis that affects both our young and adult populations. It is evident that we currently lack adequate numbers of mental health professionals to address the crisis at hand. But we've been hiring as fast as we can find applicants. The county, or frankly any county or the state, hasn't adequately supported local mental health needs for decades. In our case, we even closed our own system of mental health clinics, hoping that insurance coverage would solve the problem. But it hasn't, and we need to step into this void. Montgomery County will receive over $6 million from legal settlements with drug companies that unleashed opioids and fentanyl on our country to support our public safety efforts. As a footnote, none of these criminal corporations and their owners are in jail, despite their actions leading to the deaths of thousands. Given the damage that these drug companies have done to the community, this amount of money is a pittance compared to the mountain of harm and grief they've caused, as well as the cost to manage these problems that these companies have foisted on our communities. These funds will be distributed over several years to ensure that more assistance is available in the crisis situations than is currently accessible. Thus far, we've allocated a whopping $1.6 million of the settlement money over the next 3 years. That's certainly not enough. This will be dedicated to prevention and harm reduction initiatives, grief support, and specialized help tailored for adolescents. An additional portion of these funds will be utilized to hire professionals such as school nurses, therapists, and program managers, thereby expanding our support network. We recognize the need for this assistance across various areas, from schools to jails to outpatient clinics. When it comes to positively influencing our children and keeping them away from trouble, two factors stand out: their peers and mentors. This is why during the summer, our Department of Health and Human Services and our Department of Recreation actively support the Summer of Peace initiative. By providing young individuals with opportunities to interact in safe and enjoyable environments, we can greatly impact their lives not only during the summer, but also in the long run. We have already organized events in Germantown and White Oak, and the next one will take place Friday in the Long Branch area. As a former elementary school teacher, I am well aware that idle children often find themselves in trouble, and younger children are more susceptible to being drawn into inappropriate behaviors by their older peers. Our recreation department has incredible offerings of activities, events, and programs for children and young adults. I encourage everyone to check out montgomerycountymd.org/rec to see what is available. I'm pleased to share with you the findings of Montgomery County's inaugural Pay Equity Act report, which was recently published earlier this month. This report signifies a significant stride toward addressing and rectifying any existing pay disparities among our county employees. The comprehensive report revealed that when evaluating base pay in the county, there is no wage gap, as women actually enjoy a marginal advantage. They earn about 2 cents more per dollar earned by their male counterparts. In other words, about $1.02 compared to $1 for male employees. We still have a gap of about 10 cents between male and female full-time employees when we consider gross pay, which includes both overtime and other differential payments. We're also increasing transparency by posting all salary schedules online and ensuring consistent pay raises for each job. When a job is posted, there's a clear information about a range of pay for the life of the job. The county has also taken a look at pay within county government for jobs that predate the new law to ensure fairness and equity among longtime employees. This report is a valuable tool for not only seeing where we are, but also identifying areas where we can improve. An update now on the county law banning firearms from public spaces that the council passed and that I signed into law last year. This law strictly prohibits the carrying of firearms within a 100-yard radius of places of public assembly, including parks, churches, schools, and public buildings. Last week, a federal court denied a challenge to the law seeking a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction, making it clear that the attempt to immediately halt the county's enforcement of our firearms regulation has failed. I have every confidence that their appeal to permanently dismantle our law will meet the same fate. Last year, the Supreme Court ruled that firearms regulations could only be imposed if they aligned with regulations from the 18th and 19th centuries. I have to say, what a reference point, given this is a time when we had slavery, women had no rights, and children had even fewer rights. That said, even when dealing with modern firearms that didn't exist back then, we successfully demonstrated that our firearms law falls in line with the historical tradition of firearms regulations in our nation, and the court unreservedly agreed. I want to acknowledge the hard work of our county attorney's office in handling this lawsuit, and recognize the previous county council for their commendable efforts in implementing restrictions on firearms in public places. The recent court decision sets a firm precedent confirming that the actions we've taken to safeguard our residents are not only justified, but also fully compliant with the law. And we're going to continue to prioritize the safety and well-being of our community as we move forward. We have a pressing concern at the Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center. The center is currently facing an overwhelming number of dogs in need of assistance, and we have to act swiftly to address this issue. In comparison to last year, we've witnessed an alarming increase of over 200 dogs being surrendered or abandoned. Regrettably, the rate of adoption has not kept pace with this influx, leaving us with an overcrowded facility and limited options for dealing with these deserving animals. To alleviate this overcrowding and ensure the well-being of these dogs, the leaders of MCASAC have decided to waive adoption fees for the next 50 dogs that find loving homes. Additionally, we're appealing to the public for temporary fostering assistance, particularly for our larger dogs who face greater challenges in finding adoptive families compared to puppies and small dogs. I urge you to visit our website at montgomerycountynd.gov/animal services to explore the profiles of the animals available for adoption and to obtain further details on how you can become a foster parent. If you're unable to foster or adopt personally, I implore you to utilize the power of social media to share posts and help us spread the word about these wonderful animals in need of care and affection. Initiating the adoption process is simple and can be done online by completing an adoptions questionnaire and submitting the required documents via email. I must emphasize that the county's ability to provide for these animals with forever homes is currently in jeopardy, and we are facing a crisis. I humbly request you consider assisting in any way you can. Your support and involvement will make a significant difference in the lives of these animals who are relying on us for their well-being. So let's come together as a compassionate community and extend a helping hand to our furry friends in need. And thank you for your consideration and support. On Tuesday, I joined the County Council President Evan Glass, State's Attorney John McCarthy, and others for the first meeting of the newly reformed Anti-Hate Task Force. We were joined by leaders from the Jewish, African American, LGBTQ+, Asian American, and Pacific Islander, Latino, and Muslim communities. The group was formed earlier this summer in response to the proliferation of hate crimes in Montgomery County. They are not isolated incidents or random acts of violence. They are symptomatic of deeper societal issues that stem from fear, ignorance, and a lack of empathy. The result is that people are increasingly feeling insecure about being able to move freely about our communities, and we can't allow this to become tolerated or normalized. We must prioritize education and awareness to keep our communities safe and need to foster a culture of inclusivity and empathy from an early age. This county has probably passed everything we can possibly pass in order to create a safe environment, and we have been uniformly supportive of promoting inclusivity. With every major incident, we can bring a wide spectrum of our community together to stand against hate. But for all of this, and as good as it is, there remain incidents of hate, too often involving younger people, and kids do not get these ideas spontaneously out of the air. They're being influenced by adults. Drawing our community to push back against those who divide us is going to remain essential to pushing back on hate. While I don't think that hate will ever win the day here, the fact that these acts inflict harm and pain on members of our community is simply not acceptable. 2 more meetings are scheduled in August, 1 in September, 2 in October, and 2 in November, ahead of the presentation to the Council. I wish them luck with their work and thank the task force members for the time they're devoting to such a worthy purpose. Live music is something I love, and with the 4th of July behind us, several of our communities are gearing up to fill the live entertainment void. At Glen Park, weekly concerts began in June and continue every Thursday throughout the summer until August 24th. In Wheaton, the TGIF Friday concert series is back again. We appreciate the support from Chuck Levin's Music, which is sponsoring this concert series. Chuck Levin's Music is celebrating its 65th anniversary this year. I happen to have bought most of my guitars from them, and we're very fortunate to have them as a strong community partner in Montgomery County. The concerts will be down at Marian Plaza, adjacent to the Wheaton Business Triangle and near the Wheaton Metro Station. I hope you get a chance to enjoy some free live music this summer. That's a wrap for today, and I hope you have a great week, and I'll be back again next week.